All right, guys, so the top 10 college degrees that are actually worth it. I did this video a few years back. People absolutely loved it. It got millions of views, but I kept on getting requests for me to do the video again because it's 2025 now. And if you're not aware, I went through the entire college system all the way from undergrad to getting a doctoral degree. I was over $300,000 in student loan debt, and I was really mad about it. So I made it my mission to figure out which college degrees are actually worth it and which ones are a waste of your time, effort, and money. Because the truth is, a lot of college degrees out there are not going to help you at all in your career. It's stuff that you can easily learn on the internet, literally just asking ChatGPT questions. And so there's basically no reason for you to actually do it. However, there are still some college degrees that will give you a return on investment, and it's not something you can learn just by easily Googling things or asking ChatGPT. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew when I was 18 years old. I'm going to tell you what majors are actually worth pursuing. And I've spent the last 3 months analyzing employment data, future projections, and real career outcomes. And I discovered something that might shock you. The college degree isn't dead, but it is evolving. So in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the top 10 college majors that are actually worth your time and money in 2025. So before you either A, skip college entirely, or B, pick a major that leads you to nowhere, let me show you what the data actually reveals about choosing the right degree in 2025. So the first one on the list is going to be nursing. So right now there is a massive shortage of nurses in the US. This is well documented. You can look it up on Google. We do not have enough nurses, and this has lasted a long time. And really, this is medical positions in general, but nursing is an undergraduate degree, and I'm sticking to bachelor's degrees in this video. So welcome to nursing, the healthcare profession that's been ranked as the most trusted for 22 consecutive years. And it isn't just about trust. This is about opportunity because, like I said before, there's a supply and demand imbalance. And this is a career that's high skill and it can't be outsourced to India. Plus, healthcare related careers are known to be the most recession-proof careers. So let me break this down for you. Right now, nurses are doing way more than just traditional patient care. They're becoming specialized practitioners, legal consultants, and even starting their own healthcare practices. Now let's talk numbers because this is where it gets crazy. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics, or BLS, projects a 6% growth rate annually through 2032. And that translates to roughly 193,000 new positions every single year. And that's just for registered nurses. There's tons of positions that nurses end up going into down the line. But wait, it gets better. The starting salary is about $86,000 per year. And here's what nobody's talking about. It's not just the US. For instance, the British Medical Journal recently dropped a bomb that there are currently 6 million unfilled nursing positions globally, with another 4.7 million nurses set to retire in the next few years. So for sure, this is a job that is not going anywhere. But don't take my word for it. Let me share some real insights from nurses who've lived this journey. This person, who holds multiple nursing certification, puts it perfectly. The investment in nursing school has paid for itself many times over. And she goes on to explain that the nursing profession has so many advancement opportunities, and each one that I've taken has yielded positive financial returns. But it gets even better. This nursing practitioner shares something fascinating. She says, my nursing career hasn't just paid for itself financially, it's given me the flexibility I need as a parent while letting me make a real impact on patients' lives. And this is what makes nursing unique in 2025. It's not just about the stable income or the massive job security. It's about having a career that gives you multiple paths for advancement, flexibility in your work life, personal fulfillment, and yes, exceptional financial returns. Now, by the way, I do just want to say that these are in no particular order. All of these top 10 are going to be really good. If you want to know the exact order that they're in, I do have a college degree ranker, which you can get completely free. I'll put it down in the description and the pinned comment below. All right, number 2 is the one that everybody loves and everybody loves to talk about, and I think it's probably still the best degree that you can get, and that is computer science. So learning how to code is still one of the most valuable skills you can possibly know. It's only gotten more and more valuable with the onset of AI, and with a computer science degree, it gives you a massive advantage when it comes to getting a job. And overall, the median for all different computer science related careers is about $145,000 a year. Plus, there's a 26% growth rate through 2033. That's 4 times the average growth rate according to BLS. Now, here's something fascinating from Yale University. Computer science isn't just about the money. It's about flexibility. It's about being able to work from anywhere, being a problem solver, being creative and innovative. Computer science gives you this ability. It gives you the ability to solve problems on a massive scale, where with the click of a button, you can do the work that would normally take 1,000 people to do. But wait, here's the truth bomb nobody tells you. This Reddit expert puts it perfectly. The only thing that matters is if you enjoy CS and you're comfortable comfortable with spending a majority of your life working on it. So don't go into computer programming just because of the money. I think there's a lot of people that kind of complain about, computer science, software, computer programming, and 99% of the time when I've talked to those people, because, obviously I've coached a lot of people on this type of thing, the reason they're complaining is because they went into it just for the money alone and they don't actually enjoy programming. And they continue with, frankly, the industry is not suitable long-term if you don't enjoy it. It will be hell on earth for you. And I totally agree. Do not go into this just because you want to make money. Find something that you enjoy and you can make money with. And another expert compares it to law. In CS, if you know how to program, which is easy if you know a bit, but very difficult to master, and have great knowledge in the industry that you're in, you become much more rare. So basically, you know programming, you're very good at programming, but you also have industry-specific knowledge. That makes you incredibly rare. And AI makes that easier than ever to do. Because if you're somebody who already has industry knowledge, like many people out there do, then you just have to get good at programming. And AI makes that significantly easier. And I think that computer science is future-proof. Even though everyone always talks about AI and how it's taking over the world and everything like that, and honestly, nobody really knows what's going to happen. But with computer science, you're not just learning to code, you're learning to adapt. The best computer scientists are not coders, they're problem solvers. And in 2025, problems need solving more than ever. And every technological advancement that has ever happened in all of human history has created more jobs than it's taken away. It's kind of like whack-a-mole. Every time you have a technology advancement, you whack one mole, you do kill some jobs, but then usually two other moles pop up. Hundreds of years ago when farm equipment was starting to come out, there were people protesting about how it's taking away all the jobs. And look what happened. It just made more jobs appear. And I think the same exact thing is going to happen with AI. And if I'm wrong, well, it doesn't really matter anyways, because there's either going to be no jobs or AI is going to take us over and kill all of us. On to a lighter subject. The next one on the list is going to be mathematics and statistics. So these are technically two separate degrees, but I decided to throw them in together, and they're both absolutely phenomenal. I think statistics is maybe a little bit more useful in the modern world, but mathematics and statistics, they kind of go hand in hand. They're both great because everyone thinks that these degrees are about solving equations, but in 2025, it's actually more about solving future problems. And let's crunch some numbers. The median salary for all jobs that are related to mathematics and statistics is $104,000 a year, and it's projected to grow at 11% through 2033. That's double the average job growth rate. Now, here's something fascinating from a math graduate. They said it's definitely worth it if your main goal is to challenge yourself, improve your understandings of everything, and increase your mental toolbox. But here's where it gets interesting. A tech expert recently shared 3 mind-blowing points about math careers. They said either AI won't get that good, in which case it'll just be a tool people use, or AI will be good enough to do everything, in which case we'll need mathematicians more than ever. And I couldn't agree more. Now, by the way, people always ask me over and over again, Shane, all these skills that you talk about on the channel, I love them. I believe you that I can get a really good job with all these skills, but how do I actually learn the skills, right? How do I learn statistics? How do I learn the type of statistics that people really need in the job market? Because the type of math and statistics that they teach you in school might be really fun if you like math, but it might not be that applicable to actually working. But where do you learn the practical skills that businesses are actually looking for? Well, some of my absolute favorite resources that will not only teach you what companies are looking for, but they'll also give you a certificate that looks really good on your resume or your LinkedIn, are the Google professional certificates. And depending on what career path you're trying to go into, I have a list of my favorite ones, which I'll put down in the description and the pinned comment below. So highly recommend them. But yeah, back to mathematics. The reason why I think this one's going to absolutely crush it in 2025 and beyond is 1, the AI revolution. As one expert puts it, your employability will increase hugely if you learn to program and model as well as learning pure mathematics. 2, universal application. From Wall Street to Silicon Valley, from climate science to space exploration, everyone needs math wizards. And 3, future-proof skills. Because even if AI takes over, someone needs to understand the math behind it. But here's what makes mathematics truly special. As one expert noted, we'll have to work out how to find identity and meaning in a world where we don't have to do anything, if that happens. And guess who will be leading that charge? The people who understand the language of reality itself, which that's essentially what math is. And in a world driven by data and algorithms, algorithms, which is basically what AI is, the people who understand the math behind it all, they're not just going to be employees, they're going to be the architects of tomorrow. And it's especially good if you can combine it with a little bit of coding and programming skill. All right, next one is going to be information science. And this is a major that's not even 20 years old. That's right, information science is so new that most people don't even know that it exists. But the average of all the careers that you tend to go into if you get this degree is $120,000 a year. That's $10,000 a month. And it has a 33% growth rate through 2033. Now, an actual professor said that information science is a more generalist major, and many of the graduates end up in IT management positions and analyst positions. However, there are a lot of different career paths you could go down when you understand information science. For instance, you can go down data-driven career paths like, data analyst or data scientist. You could become a computer programmer. You could go into IT. You could go into cybersecurity, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, information science is for tech-savvy folks who want options because there's so many different career paths you could go down. Think about it. Network design, virtual reality development, project management, game design. The possibilities are endless. And here's why information science is particularly valuable in 2025. One, ridiculous job security. There's 180,000 current positions with 59,000 new jobs coming down the line. Two, incredible versatility. As one professor puts it, it combines aspects of computer science with story, writing, art, and music. Three, future-proof skills, because someone needs to manage all those AI systems that everyone seems to be building. Now, quick question for you. So while everyone else is fighting over computer science seats, you could be building the systems that manage those computers, because this field is all about being the bridge between technology and people. And that bridge might be worth its weight in Bitcoin. All right, next one is going to be accounting. And you want to know what's an underrated superpower in 2025? Being good at something that most people hate. Okay, fair enough. I know most people hate math, but I think a lot of people also find accounting to be incredibly boring. And that's why it's the next one on the list. Because while everyone's running away from numbers, smart people are running towards them. Now, let's look at the career opportunities first. You've got the chief financial officer, financial controller, forensic accountant, tax specialist, audit manager, and of course, a normal accountant. And the numbers are pretty sweet too. The median salary for all kind of entry-level accounting positions is about $79,000 a year, with 1.5 million current positions. And there's 91,000 new jobs coming by 2033. And a lot of those other careers I talked about, like financial controller, they pay way more. In many cases, over $200,000 a year. Now, here's what one successful accountant shared. Pick something that most people don't want to do and become really good at it. That's pretty brilliant advice. By doing this, you'll have employers beating down your door trying to give you their money. And financial problems is the #1 reason that most businesses fail. And that's why accounting is so important. Now, another industry expert reveals that future accountants will need to understand both traditional accounting and technology. We're talking ERP systems, automation, and data analytics. But they also have to have a really good grasp and understanding on regulations and the law. And here are 3 reasons why accounting is thriving in 2025. 1, AI enhanced, not replaced. While AI handles the grunt work, human accountants focus on strategy and analysis. 2, better work-life balance. The industry is moving towards flexible work arrangements and more enjoyable office environments. 3, recession-proof skills. In good times, companies need accountants to manage growth. In bad times, they need them even more. But here's the real reason why accounting made the top 10 list. It's one of the few fields where being boring makes you valuable. And because of that, you're probably not going to have all that much competition. Plus, I think accounting gives you kind of an insider's perspective on what's working in the economy. Think about it. If you're an accountant and you do local businesses' taxes, you're going to see some businesses that barely make, $100,000 a year in revenue and their profit margins are low. And then you're going to see other businesses that are making millions and millions of dollars a year with a super high profit margin. And that is probably going to give you ideas on what type of business that you can start as well. And on top of that, just understanding finance and accounting is probably going to lead to you making really good investment decisions too. So that's why accountants oftentimes end up being very successful. Next, let's talk about physics degrees. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because it's kind of similar to a mathematics degree where the skills that you learn aren't necessarily directly applicable, right? Like you're not going to be, doing physics usually working in a normal job. However, the fact that you can do physics means you're an extremely high-level problem solver. And so there's so many different career paths you can go down. And there's actually a ridiculous number of entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley who started off by being physics majors. And these are some of the best problem solvers in the entire world. And this is why a lot of businesses that are are in technology and finance will actually hire physics graduates, even though they don't necessarily know anything about technology or finance. They know that they're getting somebody who's extremely smart if they're able to get a physics degree. And I actually did a video on like the average IQs for the different degrees, and physics was arguably number one. The average person who graduates with a physics degree is a borderline genius. So it's no surprise that companies actually like to hire these people. But with that being said, from the statistics, physics degrees are really, really good. And they actually rank number 18 out of over 900 degrees when it comes to ROI. So yeah, not going to spend too much time on this one. Definitely not for everyone out there, but I do think physics degrees are really good. Next is economics, right? Because I didn't want to make an entire video about degrees that are just in STEM. Economics is technically a social science degree, and a weirdly large number of CEOs and successful entrepreneurs also studied economics. And here's the thing, while everyone's going for standard business degrees, economics majors are learning something way more valuable: how opportunity actually works. And according to my research, economics ranks number 27 out of 900 degrees when it comes to ROI. And there's a good reason why. To succeed in economics, you'll need analytical thinking, an understanding of markets, data interpretation skills, a strategic mindset, and interest in human behavior. And here's why economics is particularly valuable in 2025. 1, elite problem solving. You learn to spot opportunities and understand market dynamics that others miss. 2, universal application. Every industry, every business, every market follows economic principles. And 3, future-ready skills in a world of rapid change. Understanding how markets work is more valuable than ever. So yeah, this one is really good. All right, so next is going to be chemistry, and I'm just going to kind of throw like science and I guess like STEM degrees in general under this category. Chemistry is very specialized knowledge, but there's so many different industries out there where they need people who understand chemistry. And it's kind of like the language of interactions around us. Now, when it comes to the numbers, chemistry is okay. It ranks about 54 out of 900 degrees. And while that might not sound impressive at first, here's what makes it interesting. To succeed in chemistry, you'll need strong analytical skills, laboratory techniques, attention to detail, problem-solving ability, as well as safety consciousness. And there's many different industries out there that are going to appreciate this skill set. And this degree is particularly valuable in 2025, in my opinion, because there's industry versatility. From pharmaceuticals to environmental science, chemistry graduates are needed everywhere. 2, research opportunities. With advances in material science and drug development, chemists are in high demand. 3, analytical foundations. The analytical skills that you learn transfer to almost any technical field. So yeah, chemistry and just science degrees in general are relatively good. They're not the best ones out there, but they're relatively good. They do teach you a very niche skill set where companies absolutely need to hire people that have these skills. However, it's not some of the highest paying skills, and the supply and demand isn't, that imbalanced. Next is going to be engineering, and I'm going to put this all under one umbrella as well. Engineering graduates often end up as CEOs, actually more than any other degree out there. And because engineering is one of the purest forms of practical problem solving. Now, don't get me wrong, math, physics, statistics, even chemistry teaches you a lot of problem solving. But a lot of the time, it's problems that you're not actually going to be using in the real world. Whereas engineering is where the rubber meets the road. Engineering is practical problem solving. And here's the truth. While other degrees teach you about existing solutions, engineering teaches you how to solve problems that don't even exist yet. And engineering degrees absolutely dominate the rankings. 7 out of the top 10 degrees on my list are engineering degrees. Now, one thing I will say about engineering, math, physics, and chemistry are they are all very difficult, right? These are going to be some of the most difficult degrees you can possibly get. But with that being said, especially when it comes to engineering, you are definitely going to get an ROI for your degree. And that is for 3 reasons. 1, practical problem solving. You learn real world application, not just theory. 2, universal respect. Companies know engineers are smart and hardworking, period. 3, you're business ready. Engineering thinking translates perfectly to business leadership. This is why so many incredible CEOs out there started off as engineers. Now, when it comes to long-term data, in terms of like the last 40 years, engineering degrees are number 1, and it's not even close. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the same thing over the next 40 years. It could be that computer science is better. It could be even that business degrees are better. And speaking of business degrees, that's going to be the last one on the list. And the one I'm going to talk about is very interesting because it's kind of a business degree combined with a technology degree, and that is management information systems. And this is a degree that I've talked about quite a bit. It is relatively flexible because it teaches you business and technology skills. So there's many different paths you can go down using this as your foundation. And the truth is, if you're like an 18-year-old trying to choose your degree, well, most people, even ones who get engineering degrees, end up doing something completely different that has absolutely nothing to do with engineering. So although it does help to specialize in some cases, over-specialization can actually hurt you. The perfect example of this is getting a printer technology degree. Yeah, that's a real degree. And as you can imagine, a lot of people over-specialized and, printers can't get that much better, can they? It's just printing a piece of paper. Whereas if you get a management information systems degree, there's so many different things that you can do down the line. So it's good to have a degree that's relatively flexible. So yeah, management information systems, I really like it. It's a super solid degree. I've recommended it to a lot of people who decided that they're going to college, but they don't necessarily know if they want to do computer science or they want to go the business route. It's a really good in-between degree. So yeah, guys, like I said, the complete rankings down in the description and the pinned comment below. Definitely check those out if you want to figure out what to do with your career. Hope you enjoyed this video. Also, check out the video I made on 21 of the highest paying remote jobs that are almost always hiring by clicking right here.